Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and we are live with the top 8 of the 4th Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series. Predictions are locked in, and we have 32 of them, so one of you had better get this right. Marked matches are still open for voting, so you can do that as well, although you're not going to win anything. You were very vocal about which match you wanted to see for Top Cut, and I do not blame you. We haven't seen Salamangreat at all today because there's only been one player out of 64. Although it turns out one player is more than enough. The conversion rate on this deck, 100% courtesy of Skinny03, but unfortunately they have their work cut out for them. They're playing against the man, the myth, the legend's progeny, Cyber VX, aka Jason Leonard, hot off the heels of a top 8 finish in the Pro Play Tour Invitational, a tournament that even I wasn't good enough to top, for a multitude of reasons, of course. They're playing Eldlich, which is breakaway the best deck in this top cut. It's got 4 copies in the top 8, and it could potentially close out finals if we are not careful. One portion of that happening relies on the outcome of this match, so I won't waste any more time. Let me know which individual you want to see walk with it. I wish them both good luck, and I will let them know I am ready to go. Looks like we've got a lot of spectators in the actual YGO Pro client as well. Stevie, none of these people are playing Gem Knight FTK. Alright, and the duel has started. Obviously, a lot relies on the outcome of this die roll. Salamangreat has no problem going second, but much more importantly would like to go first uninterrupted. There it is. Wow, that's about as good as it gets. A Signet Mining discarding a copy of Foxy in order to add a Gazelle to hand. And of course, because a Salamangreat went to the graveyard via the discard for Signet Mining, Gazelle can then be special summoned from the hand, triggering its effect. Now, what it gets here is pretty critical. Salamangreat Roar is a really, really good card. It means that you have the extension necessary to go through all your plays without having to send a monster. Likely, the copy of Foxy in the graveyard will be enough insurance for that, because this Phalanx is going to add a Salamangreat Sanctuary to hand. Then you'll have the requisite face-up material necessary to summon the Foxy from the graveyard simply by discarding a Salamangreat. I never thought I'd be in this position, rooting for Salamangreat. Looks like we've got Will as well. We'll go ahead and activate the effect of Will at some point during this turn. Looks like immediately. Probably snag back that copy of Foxy. No, getting Gazelle instead makes sense. Foxy can be summoned naturally. And then you go into Mirage Stalio, and then after that... Here we go. Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf making its way to the side of the field. We'll be able to trigger the effect of the Sunlight Wolf by summoning something like the Foxy back to the zone if we so desire. We'll also be able to reincarnation summon in order to get that Roar with the effect of Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. We could trigger Roar natively in order to use Sunlight Wolf's effect for something else, but I don't think we have another material. Using Sunlight Wolf's effect here to get back the Roar, we're going to set the Roar, and I think one other set would really be what Skinny wants to end on here. Not just the one piece of negation, of course. Eldlich is adept at pushing through exactly one point of interaction. Yup, at least one more set. Wow, and the whole hand in the back row says, go ahead. If you Lightning Storm me, you're going to have a couple. This is like rooting for the villain of the last arc who turned good to face a bigger evil. No, for sure. This is the the Bec Noir of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe fighting against Lord English. Those of you with good taste know. Alright, we're going to fire off a charge of the Light Brigade, and wow, Jeff Leonard's son is on the Raiden Hand of the Lightsworn build. So this is a very interesting build of the deck. By playing Charge of the Light Brigade, you're able to mill 5 cards off the top of your deck over the course of your turn. Obviously, you don't really want to send this copy of Apprentice, and it looks like Raiden was the only target! Oh no, they milled it! And Charge is going to fail to resolve. It's not going to be able to add a Raiden. Raiden, of course, also a tuner for Crystron Hauka Fibrax plays, which this deck has in spades. I thought they played 2 copies, and it looks like they do. Jason's just drawn one of them. Alright, so we're going to fire off this Raiden here. And no big deal. I mean, at the end of the day, all this Charge of the Light Brigade really did was Needlebug Nest, and you can see it did send a copy of, get up, get up, Conquistador to the graveyard. This Raiden will eat an infinite impermanence. That's interesting, banking on not having any additional material in hand. If that's the case, this is a massive payoff, but if it's not... a surrender out of Jason Leonard, and whoa! I can't believe it. An extremely quick pickup from Salamangreat, suddenly one game away to converting into a top 4 finish. That was such a greedy infinite impermanence. If the infinite impermanence stopped the Raiden only to be met with something like a special summoned Magician or an Eldlich, which you send to the graveyard and then bring back by pitching a spell from your side of the field to go through Crystron Halqifibrax plays, I mean, they would have really been in hot water, but the Infip and the Roar enough to stop Eldlich straight in its tracks, and wow. This could be a quick 2-0 for Salad. Now, if there's one thing I know about Eldlich, it's that it's a deck that is prepared like no other. You know, it has the ability to weave through both combo lines and control setups that could make any deck crumble in fear. And Salamangreat is a deck that you've got to have on your radar if you're playing a top-tier meta threat, you know, despite the fact that it got virtually nothing from Eternity Code except, I don't know, Access Code Talker. Salamangreat is still a top 5 deck. You know, it's I talked a little bit with Pascal Keem about this on my channel, but it's a deck that's extremely adaptable, and it flourishes in solved metagames regardless of the cards at its disposal. And a metagame full of Eldlich and Adamancipator is very much solved in the eyes of the Salamangreat player. So if they've planned accordingly, they will have a deck specifically designed to beat Jason's. If Jason's planned accordingly, he'll have the control answers necessary to stop Salamangreat in its tracks. Chat saying Magician was dead since the target was milled. Wow, it would be distressing if we found that Jason's hand had Magician Souls in it as well. Fire Barrier Statue. God, I hope we do not see that card. Alright, so for Game 2, I think it's a pretty safe bet that Eldlich will be going first and trying to set up some sort of negation board, either through Jet Synchron activations or through setting 5 and passing against Salamangreat. And looks like we have open Jet Synchron. This is the recipe for a powerful board. This card, by the way, it's very much getting banned. Not only because of its massive implications in decks like Eldlich, you know, but also because it's a 1-card Link 4 in a world with Access Code Talker. Alright, we're going to go for Jet Synchron here. We're going to discard a card. One great thing about Eldlich is discarding Eldlich is just a huge fat plus. Alright, we're going to go into Jet Synchron now, and next up is Halqifibrax. If you're skinny, here's where you fire the no material. Alright, so Halqifibrax comes down and it summons a tuner from deck. We get a lot of information based off what is summoned here. If it's a 0/0/1, we know the direction of the combos. If it's an O-Lion, we know the direction of the combos. And if it gets Ash Blossomed, we know the combos are likely over. Wow, I mean, this is rough. One of the things that makes it very difficult to board against Eldlich is you never know if your opponent is going to find the combo or the control half of the deck. Ash Blossom is a hand trap that's good against both. You know, it prevents special summons off of Sanguine on your first turn. It prevents the activation of Crystron Halqifibrax on your opponents. It looks like we're going for the Eldlich here. This is the frustrating part. Even through this board, you know, as long as they can summon one more monster, they can make their way all the way to a Auroradon. But, you know, you have to have the other monster. It looks like they may not have it. And if that's the case, ooh, that is an extremely weak board out of Jason. Alright, no Dawn this turn, which means that Skinny's going to be able to set up through pretty much exactly one piece of interaction maximum. I mean, you wouldn't expect this to be like Conquistador Hakero exactly, but even if that's the case, you know, you have plays around that. One thing that's particularly interesting about Salamangreat is if Eldlich isn't able to set up a huge combo board, it's actually very difficult for them to interact with it. Sure, Hakero is very powerful, but almost immediately Conquistador is turned off. For example, if you use this Flame Buffalo to go into a Salamangreat Balinx and then, get the Balinx in graveyard through one of the many ways you can do that, either by summoning another monster and then using the Balinx as part of a link summon, or activating Sanctuary and Reincarnation summoning before continuing your plays, you're able to turn off Conquistador for the rest of the game. So it looks like we're not going to see an evenly matched, which is, I know, distressing to chat, nor are we going to see a Lightning Storm, but we might see some powerful plays regardless. Going to draw a couple of cards off here. Oh, thank God for that chain block, a sentence I never thought I would say. Gazelle in the opener as well. Met with a summon limit out of out of Eldlich. That is a huge haymaker in this matchup. Whoa, and summon limit on the field means that we won't even be able to reincarnation summon with this Balinx. We're just going to have to stare it down. No Cosmic Cyclone in hand to meet the summon limit, and oh, this is such a powerful floodgate against this strategy. Summon Limit has kind of been the floodgate of choice for this format. Cards like Gozen Match and There Can Be Only One sort of have marginal utility based on the decks that are currently playable. Summon Limit hits them all. So we're going to go for a Pot of Desires here, and ideally we'll find a Cosmic Cyclone and a way to potentially prevent your opponent from stopping your further plays and get a Gazelle onto the field, but that's a tall order in 2 cards. Oh no. Oh, that's so painful. Was that a pass? Oh no, we're going to battle phase. Attacking into the Crystron Halqifibrax, and one guess as to why they're doing that. Unfortunately, they'll be able to activate the effective Crystron Halqifibrax if they're on, like, Wonder Magician. They can put it in defense position and prevent the evenly matched. Formula Synchron is good enough. Telegraphs a larger combo strategy, able to draw a card as well as block the potential evenly matched, and yikes. Well, I don't think we're going to redeclare. Call me crazy. I think likely that evenly matched drawn off of the Pot of Desires here. And a pass with 7 cards in hand. I'd like to see a spinny discard for turn, potentially. Looks like we're going to activate a Scarlet Sanguine here. That's going to get an Eldlich from deck. And I want to see what Skinny's going to discard to hand size. It's got to be something. Oh, we're getting a report from a different... Ooh, that's a good one, actually. Wait, that's fantastic. Discarding Foxy to hand size is actually almost unbeatable. You need a very particular set of cards in order to out that, like a Hakero right here. Or else it's coming down and it's going to stop that summon limit. If you expect your opponent has an evenly matched in the hand, you kind of don't have a fantastic attack here either. You maybe have to go for the Liba board. That said, you can. Anyway, getting reports from other tables. Gem Knight FTK unfortunately has fallen. I know, shocking. Not only shocking, but very sad. I really wanted to see Gem Knight FTK go all the way so I could finally quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever. Alright, we're going to activate the Scarlet Sanguine in Graveyard. I think we can pretty much expect a Hakero set, and there it is. Well, now you're going to have to figure out a way to get that Foxy to resolve. Still have not performed any summons. This is kind of a weird scenario to be caught in. Like, you want to go into Gustav Max into Liba, but your opponent potentially has cards that stonewall you, and if any of those cards resolve, then you are in a huge pickle because they're going to be able to activate the effect of Salamangreat Foxy while you don't have an Eldlich on your side of the field because you did this under summon limit. So it looks like, yeah, just going to the end phase. Is that even lethal? 2k plus 55? That's 75. I'm out of my mind, chat. Chat's completely correct. Scar's Turbo never would have lost to Eldlich. So we'll go to main phase 1 here. We can prompt the Haketo early, but we gotta have a follow-up play. Alright, so Falco's a good start. Falco in the graveyard represents something that potentially Jason would want to Haketo, but yeah, I got to imagine your eye is exclusively on Foxy here. You know, it's kind of Foxy or bust. We don't know the back row, of course. The only card we know is the Haketo. Could be anything. We could use our second summon on Phoenix, potentially. This clears the board. Does it actually? No, Falco is summoned in this position, right? Oh! Oh! It's an and if you do! Oh, this is so big brain! So by activating the effect of Falco in Graveyard, you can put the Balinks back, and because it wasn't added back to the hand, you don't get to resolve the effect. So Falco isn't summoned, and now your board is empty, and you say, you better either have Solemn Judgment, or you are about to get even lead for 7. Whoa, this is so smart! Salamangreat players never cease to amaze me. It's always individuals doing extremely fair things in the smartest possible way. Unfortunately, is going to be Golden Land forever, and the dream deflated. Do you have a second one? It would have had to have been a Desires into double evenly. I think that's pretty unlikely. Ugh, we can't even go for the Foxy here. We activate the Foxy effect. It gets met with the Haketo. Oh, man. Control decks, man. They're so robust. Alright, here's Haketo. That's going to negate the effect of Foxy by banishing it. We've got the Falco in Graveyard, but we've already activated a Falco effect this turn. We can do our normal, but to what end? Like, chat, there are outs. Gazelle is a pretty sweet card. We don't even have to use our normal on it, but sending something like Roar is just terrible here. I mean, what do? You send Roar to the graveyard, and then you have no way to get it out of the graveyard for the remainder of the game. 2 summons already, Falco and Foxy. I don't think the attempts count. This is game 2, chat. Win from 1 card, robust. They won from several cards. The robustness of this deck just refers to the fact that it's able to access Omni Negates and Golden Land Forever at a minus. It's able to access DD Crow effects via Hakero, Destructions via Conquistador, and Floodgates as well that it can play under very easily. It attacks from all angles, I would say. Negated summons do, yeah. So we can go into Lingaribo, which is cool. You get to negate the activated effects of trap cards, which is funny. But there's, like, no trap cards that will be activated that I'm particularly frightened of. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably scoop and go to game 3. I don't see this one ending particularly well for Skinny. Lingaribo, my boy! And an activation of Formula Synchron! What are we summoning? Star Eater? Are we summoning Final Sigma? What 7 are we going into? Moonlight? Oh, it is Moonlight! Oh, no! So this featured in, I think, did Cam win? Cam Barry's, or not Cam Barry, that's someone I know from high school. Cam Neal's victorious Pro Play Games Invitational deck just walked with a huge chunk of money playing this card in the extra and going to prompt a surrender out of Skinny. Here we go. Well, we made it to game 3. I mean, this isn't the worst thing in the world. Salamangreat very much wants to go first. We won the die roll. They knew this was going to have to happen. Just needs something like the first game to happen again from the Salamangreat player. And if Salamangreat is anything, it's consistent. You know, access to Gazelle almost every single game, Flame Buffalo draws, Signet Mining. You know, there's a lot that could go right for this player, and they'll be able to take the proactive measures in terms of boarding floodgates that would really lock Eldlich out of the game. Roar plus Rage could make it happen, yeah. It's like 3 hours? Hardly. This game has been far, far shorter than 3 hours. It's what? It's very good at finding its plays repeatedly. Joseph, does going 3-3 confirm my Agnister deck isn't complete trash, just mostly trash? Yes. Congratulations. You did it. Agnister is now tier 1. It just feels like 3 hours. Yeah, that's true. All right, Salad. Lend Salad your energy, chat. Well, a circle in the opener is a pretty good start. Okay, all right, we can do this. Not met by an Ash Blossom. Playing around Droll, I see, says CyberVX. I get in arguments with Alex Simo all the time over whether Droll is good or bad against Salamangreat. Let me know, chat. Do you think boarding into Droll is a good or a bad thing if you're playing against Salamangreat? Flame Buffalo start. That is pretty good. That is pretty strong. Bad, really bad. Okay, I'm ignoring you, chat. We're going to activate Flame Buffalo here. Chain blocking it so he can't be Ash Blossomed. This isn't playing around Droll very well. It actually is. Drawing a couple of cards and then getting Sanctuary to hand is just where you want to be. Oh, wow, and a fantastic discard, too. A Foxy, but, you know, there are some things, some creeping cards in the metagame that prey on the likes of Salamangreat. You know, you may have forgotten them because they don't see a lot of play because they're not very good against Eldritch or Adamantipator, but Nibiru is legal. So, if Skinny's opponent has drawn into Nibiru, chat, I believe this is the 5th summon? The 4th or the 5th? 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th summon will be the Reincarnation. If you've got Nibiru, now is the time. There it is! No! Oh, pain! Pain! Only pain! Oh! Oh, the dream deflated. Oh my gosh. Oh, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry out like a big crusty raisin looking rock in the sun? You know, it's easy to forget because it doesn't see any play against the top 2 decks, but Nibiru is a heck of a card. And when it resolves in scenarios like this, it's hard to feel that it's fair. You have committed 5 summon. You will pay with your life. The status quo prevails. And another Secret Slayer deck drawing perfectly. Should have used the Trap Tricks, Xyz. You can't always make the rank 4. And a straight up pass. No sets, no traps, no attempt at reconciliation. Just a sad, defeated pass. A normal summon Jet Synchron is probably the end of the game here. And there it is! I just need to stop narrating. I need to stop talking. I'm divining these cards to Jason Leonard's hand, going into Halqifibrax. If you've got 4 cards in your hand and none of them are traps, some number have gotta be hand traps. Maybe an Ash Blossom here, please. Ash isn't even good here. You get to get Dawn afterwards just by activating the Jet Synchron's Grave effect. Getting 0/0/1, we are going to see a heck of a Dawn. Oh, man. Alright, Dawn's effect. Summoning 3 tokens. And Chad, we are just a few short summons away from the end of our Salamangreat Friends top 8 career here. Oh, chat thinks Revenge Nibiru is coming down. I think DD Crow is pretty good. It's able to banish the 0/0/1. Unfortunately, this does still translate into a Savage, provided that Jason's on O-Lion, which you would be a fool not to be on. If we see a counter Nibiru, I will be absolutely floored. No way could you predict that Eldlich would draw into this half of their deck, Nibiru you, and board into it going first. If you did that much preparation, fine. You deserve the counter Nibiru. Chat's still correct. He has not used Jet Synchron. It's still in the graveyard. So if you have a Nibiru, you'll be activating it after the Synchro Summon of Savage and the effect triggers. Now, hilariously, the effect of Savage does not target, so you can't even DD Crow the Auroradon because they'll just equip the Halqifibrax. It's just miserable. Alright, Savage online. Do you have the counter Nibiru? Show me now. And it looks like they do not. Pain. All I feel is pain. Discarding an Eldlich. Discarding an Eldlich for the Jet Synchron. Really? Discarding an Eldlich for the Jet Synchron. Really? Discarding an Eldlich for the Jet Synchron. Fine, yeah. From here, you can, of course, go into Herald. You can get this Eldlich back from the graveyard by sending the Auroradon equipped to the Borreload. Oh, this is rough. And you don't even have to keep the Herald in attack position to out the rock. You're under no pressure. You know, despite the fact that you've done this huge controlled, or this huge combo turn, you're still a control deck. You're still going to set traps and pass. Like, the best your opponent can hope for is that they're not dead this turn, and they're able to somehow out a walking Macrocosmos in the deck that uses its graveyard as a second hand. Oof. Could have been draw 4 cards, Borreload, Savage. We can't all be playing the Croc combos. Alright, Skinny. Let's see what you got. Normal Flame Buffalo is a start. Unfortunately... Oh, you know, you can still Flame Buffalo under Herald. So we can't chain block here. We are going to have to Flame Buffalo, potentially triggering a negation from our opponent. They have 2 on board. You'd really like to see that Herald off the field, I tell you what. Ooh, and the Herald is gone. Okay, alright. Well, now we're just a hop, skip, and a Lava Golem away from lethal. We can now use the graveyard, which is something. I don't know if it's enough. We've got a couple of wolves in the graveyard as well. This is kind of crusty. We can't reincarnation summon a wolf without figuring out a way to get one of those back into the extra via something like a Jack Jaguar, and getting a Jack Jaguar into the graveyard is a monumental ask under a Borreload Savage and a set card on an Eldlich board. I mean, oh, this is rough. Oh, we hit 4,000 followers just now. Thank you. Thanks all. That's really cool. Alright, we're going to set 1 card. We could... I don't know, potentially Foxy? Does that even do anything? And this is just one of the innate weaknesses of Salamangreat 2. They have a rough time outing big monsters. Doubly so when those big monsters are walking negates. Yeah, I'm running through the lines in my head, and I just can't figure out how Salad would be able to win it. It'd have to be a non-normal card, like a card you wouldn't expect to see in a Salamangreat deck in the hand, like a Prohibit Snake, maybe? A, even that's only okay. A, two Santa Claus? Yeah, again, really just running through them. The Reincarnation Link summoned Balinx is fine. They'll go for the Foxy here, discarding the Falco. Falco is something, but with no Salamangreat on field, it's a lot less impressive. That'll fiend the Borreload Savage. We'll activate the Falco. What, bouncing the Sanctuary? Does it have to be monster? It's got to be monster, so bouncing the Balinx and doing what? Just putting it back in the extra? Oh no, using the effect to reset Rage. Okay, that's fine. Unclear on which effect was being activated there. Rage is okay, but you know what? In the best case scenario, Rage is able to force the Borreload to activate proactively, and you can flip something like an Infinite Impermanence. But you know that just deals with the Borreload. Then you have to deal with the entire Eldlich deck, and like, good luck. Good luck to you. All right, Rage time. Gonna target this Balinx. That's gonna prompt the Savage. Is the set card Infip? It is Roar! Even better. Oh no, and it looks like there's a window to negate. It's Golden Land Forever again! Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, they found it twice. The one of. Good because it's searchable. Find it off the top anyway. Oh man, the heart of the cards truly is with Jason this match. Trying not to play favorites, of course. I would certainly like either of these players to advance, but you can't help but feel bad for the non-meta deck. Oh, no. I'm gonna discard a copy of Gamma to bring back this Jet Synchron. Go through the Dawn combo again? Are you kidding me? What do you still have in the deck? A second O-Lion? What does that get you? I guess Jason is on the more expansive extra deck with like more synchro plays. We know because we saw Moonlight in game 2. Gonna get a Jet Synchron from deck here. We can go into Dawn. We've already used Jet this turn, so it wouldn't be able to translate into anything other than an 8 via the remaining O-Lion. Alright, they're going for Dawn. Here come the 3 tokens. The 001 is actually banished as a result of a DD Crow earlier, so we're not going to be able to link into a strong synchro board. Is this Eldlich or Rockless Adamancipator? Every day, the lines blur further. And I don't want to tell you this, chat. I don't want to... Man, I don't want to rub it in, but I knew Adamancipator was going to be a problem. Or not Adamancipator, Auroradon. I knew Auroradon was going to be an issue. Oh, you can't print a card like this and expect nothing to happen. Nibiru. Nibiru would be nice. If that last card in deck was Nibiru, it would be quite nice for our Salamangreat friend, but they still wouldn't be out of the woods. They'd have to find a way to start recurring these monsters in the graveyard. A card for Salamangreat Foxy, for example, would do very little outside of enable a Balinx? This is game 3, yes, chat. Gem FTK would have never lost to Eldlich. Gem FTK literally lost to Eldlich in the other feature match. Alright, well, going to activate the first effect of Dawn here, which is going to prompt the Balinx in the graveyard. Is this lethal? I think it's just under. Taking 16 here. Nope, it is actually just over. 100 over, and wow. Jason Leonard, after an Unreal Tear in the Pro Play Games event, continues an Unreal Tear in this one, moving on to top 4 with an extremely powerful build of Combo Eldlich. Extremely strong showing on the back of a couple of huge haymakers like Nibiru and Summon Limit. And chat, I know you want to dislike Eldlich. I know you're mad that Eldlich won. I understand your pain. But this is a pretty high caliber of player. If there were individuals repping Eldlich in top 4, I'm happy it's this and not Don Dunkules off the street. That's going to be it. I believe all the other matches are finished, so I can just let you know these right now. Lundrity on Eldlich won... on Adamancipator, won their match. Great, awesome. Anju on Lich beat Rycape on Gem Knight FTK. And Base Loli, I think, continues... Nope. Base Loli dropped. Base Loli confirmed bad. Couldn't even convert with Ultimaya Zolkin Eldlich. Shocking. I am just, truthfully, I cannot believe it. Anyway, that's going to be it for top 8. We're going to move on to top 4. I will put up the poll to let the people know that the round is going to start, and then we will move into a view. Looks like we've actually got Mech Knight invoked in top 4, so that might be pretty interesting. See you shortly.